Number 1. Emotional absorption in crowds. Highly empathic individuals often feel overwhelmed in crowded places like malls, concerts, or public transportation. This is because they unconsciously absorb the emotional energy of those around them. For example, if someone nearby is anxious or irritated, you might suddenly feel uneasy without knowing why. This emotional absorption can make social gatherings exhausting, as your emotional state becomes a reflection of the collective mood of the crowd. You might even avoid large events altogether because of how drained or overstimulated you feel afterward. For empaths, the emotional energy in these environments can feel like a tidal wave crashing over them, leaving them struggling to maintain their own emotional balance. Number 2. Physical sensitivity to others' pain. Empaths don't just sense emotions. They can also experience physical sensations that mirror the pain or discomfort of others. For instance, if someone close to you has a headache or back pain, you might start feeling similar symptoms without any apparent cause. This phenomenon is sometimes referred to as somatic empathy. It's as though your body tunes into the physical state of others and mirrors it. While this can deepen your understanding of what someone else is going through, it can also be draining and confusing if you're unaware of why you're experiencing these sensations. This heightened sensitivity can make it challenging to distinguish between your own physical state and that of others. Number 3. Overwhelmed by negative media. Empaths are deeply affected by stories of suffering, violence, or injustice, even when they're not directly involved. Watching distressing news reports, movies with heavy themes, or reading tragic stories can feel unbearable because you emotionally place yourself in the shoes of those who are suffering. For example, hearing about a natural disaster might leave you feeling heartbroken for days, as if you were personally impacted by it. This sensitivity often leads empaths to avoid negative media altogether or seek out uplifting content instead. However, this avoidance can sometimes make them feel disconnected from current events, creating an internal conflict between staying informed and protecting their emotional well-being. Number 4. Difficulty setting boundaries. One of the biggest challenges for highly empathic people is setting and maintaining boundaries. Because you naturally tune into others' emotions and want to help, it's easy to overextend yourself emotionally or physically. You might find it hard to say no when someone asks for help, even if you're already overwhelmed or exhausted. This tendency can lead to feelings of resentment or burnout over time because you're constantly giving but rarely receiving the same level of care in return. Learning to set boundaries is crucial for empaths to protect their energy and maintain healthy relationships. Number 5. Emotional contagion. Emotional contagion refers to the way empaths absorb and reflect the emotions of those around them as if they were their own. For instance, if a friend is feeling stressed about work, you might start feeling stressed too, even if your day was going perfectly fine. This blending of emotions makes it difficult to differentiate between your own feelings and those of others. Over time, this can lead to emotional exhaustion because you're constantly processing not just your own emotions, but also those of everyone around you. Recognizing when this happens is an important step toward managing your empathic tendencies. Number 6. Chronic fatigue or stress. Because empaths are constantly absorbing emotional and physical energy from others, they are more prone to chronic fatigue and stress-related symptoms like headaches, insomnia, or muscle tension. You might find yourself feeling drained after spending time with certain people or in specific environments without understanding why. This constant energy exchange can take a toll on your body and mind over time if you don't take steps to recharge and protect yourself. Practices like meditation, grounding exercises, or spending time alone in nature can help restore your energy levels and reduce stress. Number 7. Intuitive understanding of others. Empaths have an uncanny ability to sense what others are feeling or thinking without being told explicitly. You might notice subtle changes in someone's tone of voice, body language, or facial expressions that reveal their true emotions, even if they're trying to hide them. This intuitive understanding allows you to connect deeply with others and offer support when they need it most. However, this skill can also be overwhelming because you often pick up on things that others miss or prefer not to acknowledge. It's important for empaths to use this gift wisely and avoid becoming overly involved in situations that don't directly concern them. Number 8. Compulsion to help others. Empaths are natural caregivers who feel a strong urge to help anyone in pain or distress, sometimes even at their own expense. Whether it's offering emotional support to a friend going through a tough time or volunteering for a cause close to your heart, you derive a sense of purpose from helping others heal or find peace. However, this compulsion can sometimes lead to self-neglect if you prioritize others' needs over your own for too long. It's essential for empaths to strike a balance between giving and receiving support so they don't become depleted. Number 9. Preference for solitude. To recharge from the constant influx of emotional energy they absorb from others, empaths often seek solitude or quiet environments where they can be alone with their thoughts and feelings. Spending time alone allows you to process what you've absorbed throughout the day and regain your sense of self without external influences clouding your emotions. You might find solace in activities like journaling, meditating, reading, or simply enjoying nature on your own. While solitude is essential for empaths' well-being, it's important not to isolate yourself entirely. Finding supportive relationships with people who understand your sensitivity is equally crucial. Number 10. Affinity with animals and nature. Many empaths feel deeply connected to animals and nature because these interactions lack the complexity and intensity of human emotions. Animals provide unconditional love and companionship without judgment or hidden motives, making them ideal companions for highly empathic people. Similarly, spending time in nature, whether it's walking through a forest, sitting by the ocean, or tending to plants, can have a grounding effect that helps empaths recharge their energy and find peace amidst life's chaos. These connections serve as a reminder that there's beauty and harmony in the world despite its challenges. Being a highly empathic person is a profound experience that allows you to connect with the world in ways that others might not fully understand. It's a gift that enables you to sense the unspoken, offer comfort in times of need, and bring light to those who are struggling. However, it's also a responsibility that requires careful navigation. Empathy, when left unchecked, can lead to emotional exhaustion, physical fatigue, and even feelings of being overwhelmed or lost. This duality, the beauty of connection and the weight of sensitivity, is what makes the empathic journey so unique. One of the most important lessons for empaths is learning how to distinguish between their own emotions and those they absorb from others. This self-awareness is the foundation for maintaining balance and protecting your mental and emotional health. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help you reflect on your feelings and identify whether they truly belong to you or are a reflection of someone else's energy. Grounding techniques, such as walking barefoot on grass or focusing on your breath, can also help you stay rooted in your own energy when external emotions threaten to overwhelm you. Another key aspect of managing empathy is setting healthy boundaries. While it's natural for empaths to want to help others, it's crucial to recognize that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Learning to say no when needed and prioritizing your own well-being isn't selfish, it's necessary. By taking care of yourself first, you ensure that you have the energy and emotional capacity to support others in a sustainable way. This might mean stepping back from toxic relationships, limiting time spent in emotionally draining environments, or scheduling regular alone time to recharge. Self-care is not just a luxury for empaths, it's a survival tool. Whether it's spending time in nature, practicing yoga, engaging in creative hobbies, or simply enjoying quiet moments of solitude, finding activities that nourish your soul is essential. These moments allow you to reconnect with yourself and release any emotional energy you've absorbed throughout the day. Additionally, surrounding yourself with supportive people who understand and respect your sensitivity can make a world of difference. Having a trusted circle of friends or loved ones who uplift rather than drain you can provide the emotional safety net you need. It's also worth noting that being an empath doesn't mean you have to take on everyone else's pain as your own. While your ability to feel deeply is a strength, it doesn't mean you're responsible for fixing every problem or healing every wound you encounter. Learning to offer compassion without internalizing others' struggles is an important skill that allows you to maintain your emotional equilibrium while still being there for those who need you. On a broader level, empaths have the potential to be powerful agents of change in the world. Your sensitivity allows you to see injustices that others might overlook and motivates you to take action where it's needed most. Whether it's advocating for social causes, supporting marginalized communities, or simply spreading kindness in your everyday interactions, your empathy can be a force for good. By channeling your sensitivity into meaningful action, you not only make a positive impact on the world, but also find purpose and fulfillment in your empathic nature. Lastly, it's important to embrace empathy as part of who you are rather than viewing it as a burden or flaw. In a world that often values logic over emotion and independence over connection, being an empath can sometimes feel like swimming against the tide. But it's precisely this sensitivity that makes you unique and needed. Your ability to feel deeply reminds others of their own humanity and fosters connections that transcend superficial interactions. By embracing your empathic nature while taking steps to protect and nurture yourself, you can turn what might feel like an overwhelming trait into one of your greatest strengths. Empathy is not just about feeling. It's about understanding, connecting, and ultimately making the world a more compassionate place. So celebrate this gift, honor its challenges, and remember that being an empath is not just what you do. It's who you are at your core. If you like this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing and liking.